I like this idea, but how about instead I give you the entire tutorial for how I made this Jeff Simmons Titans graphic. Jumping straight into it, we take our blank canvas, add in this nice vibrant red, and a little bit of a vignette. From there, we're going to add in our small cutout and the framing device for our big cutout, which is just an ellipse set to a smart object, given a little bit of a Gaussian blur, and then set to a dissolve layer style. From there, we're going to add in the background of that frame, which is a photo of Nissan Stadium, home of your Tennessee Titans. We're going to run that through Camera Raw, Topaz, give it a little Gaussian blur for depth, and finally add in our cutout. Then we're going to run our cutouts through Camera Raw, and because we do not gatekeep here are all of the settings that I use for these cutouts in Camera Raw. I try to explain it to you, but honestly, Camera Raw for me is just kind of playing around until I find something that works. Anyway, these edits take these cutouts from this to this. Then we're also going to do this really cool trick to help make our highlights and shadows pop even more. Take a levels adjustment mask, set it to multiply, and set it as a clipping mask on your cutout. Then you're going to invert the layer mask and brush over all the darkest areas on your cutout. You're going to paint over this with a very light brush, like 30%, and this will help make all of your shadows on your cutout a little bit darker and pop a little more. You're going to repeat this step again, but instead of multiply, you're going to set the layer to screen, and you're going to paint over all the lightest areas. I also added in one more low opacity screen layer around the shoulder pads just to give it a little bit more of an inner glow. You don't have to do that step. Now, all of that plus a color lookup layer takes it from this to this. Look at the difference. Now it's finally time to add in our typography, and because some of y'all were asking in the comments of the last video, the bigger font is called Raphael, and I got it off of Creative Market. I then want to make my text glow, but rather than just giving it an outer glow, I'm going to give my text a Gaussian blur of about 1 pixel, then add the outer glow, just because to me it feels a little bit more natural and the edges feel a little bit less rigid. Then we add in our lighting effects, which if I'm being totally honest, probably just deserves a video all on its own. Then we're going to add in this great marble texture that I love and all of our little details, which are the most important part of any graphic. The final step for this piece is adding in our dust and scratches and a grain layer, and there you go, there is one Jeff Simmons graphic. Let me know down in the comments if you have any other questions, any other graphics you want to see, any tutorials you want to see, and most importantly, tighten up.